The first thing you remember isn't the heat, but your father's voice. You're 4 years old, standing in the dooryard to your family's homestead, watching him climb a ladder to the top of a vaporator that's almost twice his height. He's banging on a panel with a hydrospanner. He looks down at you with sand in his beard and says, "Pass me the coupling, son." You don't know what a coupling is. You hand him a rock. He laughs it off. Inside, your mother pours a glass of blue milk and tells you to drink it before it gets warm. You don't like blue milk. Nobody really does. But it's what you have, so you drink it. Before breakfast, your father carries you outside to watch the suns rise. Tattoo 1 comes first, bright and angry, burning the horizon orange. Then Tattoo 2 follows, slower, softer, like it's apologizing for the first one. Your father points and says the same thing he says every morning. 2 suns means twice the heat. Twice the heat means twice the evaporation. And that's how we eat. You don't understand what that means. But you will soon. That's how you learn. The nearest school is in Bestine, 60 miles away. You learn it in the way every kid in the Jundland Wastes learns it. Your father puts a hydrospanner in your hands, and you figure it out. Your homestead is dug into the ground like every other farm out here. The walls are cool, even when the surface above could cook meat. There's a courtyard in the center, open to the sky. And your mother grows a small garden down there with the water your father diverts from the cisterns. A few pallies, some tubers. Enough to keep ration packs off the table most nights. She takes care of that garden like other people take care of their children. By the time you're 8, you're working. Your hands are cracked and your arms ache by noon. Your father takes you out to the vaporator line before breakfast and shows you how to read the condensers. The chilling bars pull moisture out of the air. Tiny drops of water collected from a planet that doesn't want to give any up. He teaches you the most important thing. The hum. A healthy vaporator has a steady low pitch. A dying one whines. You learn to hear the difference before you even learn to read. You're 12 when the Jawas show up. Their sandcrawler rolls up to the homestead, this enormous rusted machine coughing out exhaust and groaning like it's in pain. The ramp drops, and a dozen of them pour out, chattering in that high-pitched language you can't make sense of. They smell terrible. Your father walks through their inventory, picking up droids and turning them over, checking joints and wiring. He buys a small astromech with a cracked dome and a vocabulator that only works half the time. 30 credits. The Jawas wanted 50, but your father told them 20. He tells you later that's just how it works. Jawas always open high. You open low. And whatever number you land on, they probably stole the droid anyway, so don't feel bad about it. Getting the droid changed everything. It talks to the vaporators in their binary language, running diagnostics faster than your father ever could by hand. It whistles when it finds a problem. This frantic little shriek that sends you running across the sand to see what broke this time. It's always one of two things: a clogged intake valve or womp rats chewing through the wiring again. For the first time, the farm runs a little smoother, and your father actually manages to sit down for dinner before dark. You use the extra time to clean cistern filters, the worst job on the farm by far. You climb down into the underground tank with a brush and scrub mineral buildup off the walls while the droid pumps the water into a holding barrel above ground. You come out covered in yellow grime that smells like sulfur every single time. But clean filters mean cleaner water, and cleaner water means a better price at market. Market day is every 10 days. You load the speeder with sealed containers, and your father drives you to Anchorhead, about an hour across the flats. The town isn't much, just a dozen poor stone buildings, a couple of cantinas, and Tosh Station at the edge of town. The water broker checks each container with a tester, measuring purity and mineral content. Clean water gets you 12 credits a container. Cloudy water, or anything with a sulfur trace, gets docked to 8. Your father uses the credits to buy condenser parts, ration packs, and power cells. If there's anything left over, he buys something small for your mother. There's rarely anything left over. You're 14 when you almost die. You're out past the far vaporator line, the units closest to the Dune Sea. Your father told you never to go out there alone. You went anyway because womp rats had been chewing through the power couplings and you wanted to prove you could handle it yourself. You found the chewed cables. But you also stumbled upon something else. Tracks in the sand. Boot prints wrapped in cloth. Single file. Tusken Raiders. They walk in single file to hide their numbers, just like your father told you they would. A sharp, barking cry bounces off the rocks before you spot them. You drop flat behind the vaporator and press yourself into the sand. 2 of them come over the ridge, wrapped head to foot in cloth, carrying gaffy sticks. They're not looking for you. They're looking at the vaporator. Every fight on this planet starts and ends with water. They smash the gauge housing and start pulling at the water tank. You're lying 10 meters away, trying not to breathe. One of them turns and looks directly at where you're hiding. You're sure he sees you. This could be it. Then something spooks them. A sound from the south. Maybe a crate dragon call echoing through the canyon. Maybe just the wind. They grab what water they can carry and disappear back over the ridge faster than you thought possible. Run home and tell your father, half expecting him to yell at you, but he doesn't. He just sits down and covers his face with his hands for what feels like an eternity. When he finally looks up, his eyes are wet. He says, "I can't lose you too." You don't ask what he means by two. You already know. He lost a brother to the Raiders when he was young, but he never talks about it. The next week, your father trades 6 containers of water for a used blaster rifle from a trader in Anchorhead. It's old, and the stock is cracked, but it fires. He mounts it to a rack behind the courtyard hatch and teaches you how to use it. He hates guns. You can tell by the way he holds it, like it's something that doesn't belong in his hands. But he teaches you anyway. Out here, what you hate doesn't matter. It's what you're ready for that does. By 16, you hate this place. Every kid on every moisture farm hates this place. You and your friends ride into Anchorhead whenever you can, hanging around Tosh Station, talking about getting off this rock. One of them wants to join the Imperial Academy. Another one says he's going to be a pilot. A girl you like says she's saving for passage to Corellia, where the cities have actual rain and the ground is green. You've never seen green ground that wasn't in a picture, but pictures don't count. You spend most afternoons in the shade behind Tosh Station, watching ships scream overhead toward Mos Eisley. Every single one of those ships is going somewhere that isn't here. You don't know what you want to be. You just know it isn't this. Not the vaporators that break every other week, and not watching your father's back get more bent every year from hauling water tanks. Your father listens to you talk about leaving. He doesn't argue. He just says, "This land is honest. It doesn't lie to you. It doesn't promise things it won't deliver. It's hard, but it's real." You think that's a stupid thing to say. You'll think about it differently when you're older. Then Jabba's collectors come. 2 of them, armed, riding a land speeder with the Hutt clan insignia scratched into the side. Your father goes out to meet them, already holding a container of water. He knows the drill. The water tax. Jabba runs Tatooine like a landlord who takes the rent and does nothing else. Jabba has never sent a guard to patrol the flats or filled a single rut on the Anchorhead Road. But you pay him anyway because the alternative is worse. Your father hands over the container. One of the collectors looks at it, then at your father.
"This is light."
Your father says it's been a dry season. The collector steps closer.
"Jabba doesn't care about the weather."
They take the container and an extra one your father had set aside for the garden. Your mother watches from the doorway. She doesn't say anything. Nobody does. After they leave, your father sits in the courtyard staring at the patch of dirt where the pallies used to grow. The girl from Tosh Station has freckles across her nose from the suns, and she can repair a moisture vaporizer faster than you can. Her family's spread is 2 ridges over. You go to her sister's wedding. You dance under a string of glow lamps in a sandstone courtyard while a band plays frame drums and a wheezing flute. You stay quiet the whole night. Her hand finds yours during the slow song, and you both already know. You're 19 when the sandstorm hits. Not a normal one. The kind that comes once in a decade. A wall of sand that blots out both suns and turns day into night. Your father starts shouting orders. Seal the courtyard hatch. Shut down the vaporators. Get the droid below ground. You work together faster than you ever have, pulling tarps, locking blast shields, dragging equipment into the underground garage. The storm lasts 2 days. You sit underground and listen to the sand scream against the walls above you. It sounds like something alive and angry. When it passes and you open the hatch, the farm looks like a different planet. Sand dunes where there used to be flat ground, vaporators buried up to their necks, and the far line gone completely. It takes 3 months to rebuild. You dig out 17 vaporators by hand. You replace 9 condensers. You rebuild the cistern pump from salvaged parts the Jawas sold you, overcharging because they know you're desperate. Your father works beside you every day. He's slower now. He stops more often. He drinks more water than he collects. But he won't sit down. One morning, you find him in the courtyard. He's sitting on the bench your mother used to sit on before she passed 3 years ago. He's watching the suns come up. He looks at you and smiles and says, "2 suns, twice the heat." You finish it for him. "Twice the evaporation, and that's how we eat." He laughs. It's the last time you hear him laugh like that. 2 weeks later, he dies in his sleep. The same quiet way he did everything. You bury him on the ridge behind the homestead next to your mother. You put a piece of vaporator housing on the grave because you don't have stone, and he would have found that funny. You marry the girl from Tosh Station in the same sandstone courtyard where you danced. There are no off-world guests, just the families from the neighboring spreads, a moisture farmer from Bestine who plays the flute, and a sky that turns from white to gold to red as the suns go down behind the dunes. Now it's your farm, your vaporators, your sand, your suns. You and your wife fall into a rhythm. She handles the vaporators on the eastern ridge, you handle the western. You meet in the middle at midday for water and bread. At night, you sit on the courtyard wall and watch the suns go down. The wind carries the hum of the vaporators across the flat. Her hand finds yours in the dark. The Jawas still come. You've learned to haggle like your father did. Start low, walk away once. They always call you back. The Tuscans still raid. You lose 2 vaporators a year to them on average. You've stopped trying to fight it. You leave a small water cache near the far line. It doesn't stop the raids completely, but they hit the cache first, and sometimes that's enough to leave the main line alone. Jabba's collectors still come. The water tax never goes down. You pay it every time. You don't have a choice. Nobody out here does. Your son is born in the same room you were born in. You hold him and look at his small red face and understand for the first time why your father never left. The whole galaxy might be on fire somewhere, but here, in this stone room under this sky, the only thing that matters is this small, breathing thing in your arms. You teach him the same way you were taught, by watching, by failing, by being handed tools he's too small to lift. One morning you're up on the ladder swapping out a panel and you look down and see him standing in the dooryard, squinting up at you. You say, "Pass me that coupling, son." He hands you a rock. You let out a laugh that reminds you of your father. Your friends left. The one who wanted to join the academy, he joined. You never heard from him again. The one who wanted to be a pilot, he got as far as Mos Eisley and came back broke. He farms Moisture now, 3 ridges over. You see him at the broker's stall sometimes, but it's different now. Neither of you talk about leaving anymore. Years pass the way they pass on Tatooine. Slowly, then all at once. Your son turns 16. He starts spending his nights at Tosh Station. He talks about leaving. You listen. You don't argue. You remember being his age. You remember the same words coming out of your own mouth. This morning you woke up before the suns. You walked the vaporator line in the dark, checking gauges, listening for the hum. A healthy one hums low and steady. A dying one whines. You can hear the difference from 50 meters now. Your father would be proud of that. You're standing at the edge of your property in the early light. The sand is still and pink. Out toward the dune sea, raiders are breaking camp. Behind you, a Jawa sandcrawler is grinding across the flats. In a palace on the other side of the desert, a hut is getting fatter off your water. And here you are, sand in your boots, grease on your hands, and the dry air cracking your knuckles every winter. Doing the exact same thing your father did, and the same thing his father did. Pulling water out of nothing on a planet that was never meant to be lived on. Behind you, the courtyard hatch opens. Your son climbs out, rubbing his eyes. He's tall now, taller than you were at his age. He walks over to where you're standing. You hand him a wrench and say, "Come on, the far line needs checking." He takes it. He doesn't complain. You walk the line together in the early light, and for a moment, it's 30 years ago. And you're the one struggling to keep up. You think about leaving sometimes, not as often as you used to, because your father was right about this place. It's hard, and it's real, but it never once lied to you. The sand, the heat, the two suns burning overhead. It's honest work on dishonest ground, and it's yours. You check the last vaporator. The hum is steady. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss an upload. Also, watch this video next.